I would like to take this opportunity to thank each one of you for attending the webinar recently. Our apologies for being unable to answer all your questions due to lack of time during the webinar session itself. In fact, we were overwhelmed as we had received over 200 questions, and thus it became rather difficult to answer during the session which had a limited time. However, we would like to ensure those questions are answered through this medium. Please feel free to stay connected for any further learning and sharing through this medium so that we can jointly explore the opportunities and the solutions around. Let's look at a couple of questions that was asked around international freight and then freight rates and so on. The first question is from Mr. Raghu Shetty. Will the international freight charges to increase or reduce due to the COVID situation? Well, freight rates are certainly going to be volatile in the short and medium terms, as there are huge fluctuations in demand and supply cycles and uncertainty about airlines and cargo services. Services will be somewhat affected adversely. As you know, several airlines have announced receivership, financial crisis, and therefore seeking help from their respective governments, which is not easy to come by. Moreover, passenger volume restrictions as imposed by the governments has further reduced the overall profitability of these airlines, which were sharing both passenger and the cargo share of revenues. This has further increased the dependency for better revenues from the cargo section of these operations. Even from customers and retailers end, there may be a lot of buying happening closer to the festive season this year, leading to a crowded cargo demand during October to December quarter. All of this means one thing for sure, which is higher freight rates and capacity issues during the peak period of October to December. Having said that, businesses may be able to plan ahead of the crowd and try to utilize the off-peak periods to move their cargo if they are not shelf life driven and so on, so that they can get a far lower rates, which means they can make use of the situation. This is my take on the international freight charges. So I hope I've answered Mr. Raghu Shetty's question. Let's look at the next question. This is by Mr. Subramani. When will the international cargo embargo end for smoother shipments of pharma goods and essential medical supplies? Well, this is actually a tricky situation, right? With the international borders are closed and then there are no clearances as each country is battling the COVID in their own way. In fact, there have been a number of initiatives to move the essential services cargo through these embargoes by both commercial as well as governmental agencies. Having said that, governmental agencies, government certified actually goods services are cleared currently. Once again, it also depends which route we are talking about and so on. But not any commercial cargo is currently allowed to go through this. Given the fact that a lot of countries are preparing to live with the COVID rather than avoid it, perhaps this is a good news for the cargo movements sooner than later. So in terms of commercial cargo, we all hope that the embargoes will be lifted soon, as recent as probably end of this month, May itself, and then from June onwards, at least slowly the movement should happen. But before that, I think a lot of cargo is also stuck at the ports across the globe. So those ports have to be cleared first, and then the containers have to be de-stuffed and so on. So it is not an easy or a quick job. It will probably take a month or two before even a reasonable amount of services get started around the international cargo services. That's the answer for Mr. Subramani's question. I hope I've answered that. Well, the next set of questions have come from Mr. Vinod. I have clubbed these two questions. How can retail sectors cope with their productivity during outbreak? How can retailers improve the supply chain productivity and keep growing? Thanks, Vinod, for asking this question. Retailers need to quickly assess their cash flow constraints, piled up inventory, and people availability post lockdown. Inventory profiling needs to be carried out intelligently to understand the need to redistribute based on demand. Consumer mindset and fresh buying intent needs to be considered into revised forecast numbers by product, by region, by city, and by cluster. Wherever the stores are allowed to open and demand is generated, immediate actions must be taken to make the goods available at that node. Supply chain teams need to be agile and sensitive to the costs and available resources to ensure fastest service as possible to the retail stores. Of course, Omni Retail, as we spoke extensively during the webinar, Omni Retail needs to be enhanced and customers must be encouraged to shop safely and easily via omni channels. Lastly, the logistics partners to be inducted into the core group of working to ensure efficiencies, timeliness, and successful deliveries leading to higher revenues. That's in a sense the answers to the question. Taking the next question now. What are the countermeasures you advise on supply chain and logistics which has hit badly due to COVID? Supply chain management and logistics has witnessed several ups and downs throughout their life cycles, made money, lost money, and we have all survived. Post-COVID, supply chain management and logistics need to adapt technologically driven businesses with great deal of agility and prioritize goods and services as required by the sales team. You need to be closely in touch with them. Supply chain management teams need to remove all waiting times, non-value added tasks from their supply chain to shorten the lead times. Shortening the lead time and making these goods and services available at the quickest time possible, as we discussed in the webinar, deliver in full on time would become very critical for the success of the business. Logistics partners must focus on load optimization, efficient routing, intelligent delivery schedules based on the front-end sales. Logistic teams must be in a position to accept faster lead times and explore incentivized arrangements when the retailer has earned better margins. So we need to put ourselves on the edge and then say, okay, we will do our best. Can we also get little extra money through incentives and so on? Overall, the supply chain and logistics fraternity needs to get back to do what is best known to them. What do they do best? And use this opportunity to further build efficiencies and revenues. Let's remember, survival of the fittest applies in a great deal actually during these situations. So yes, we have been hit badly. There are definitely opportunities for our recovery and rebound. Well, the next question is again from Mr. Vinod. Will this COVID pandemic going to continue or there will be a break? Well, this is actually almost like a socio-political question, not so much a retail supply chain question. But according to most of the medical and research experts and the socio-economic experts, COVID is going to be around us for a long time. It's not a short-term visitor. It's actually a long-term, resident in our houses, right, and our households. Hence, we need to learn to live with the situation and become smarter than the virus itself. I guess that's exactly even the political leaders are now advising. Our humanity has survived several such pandemic attacks in the past, and we should become more resilient from the attack. Finally, we must not forget the wisdom passed on by our elders, which always, they used to always advise, right? This shall pass too. So I guess with that attitude, we need to get going.